The only difference is I'm not going to explode here. Hi, everyone. How's your weekend going so far? All right. Mine is pretty good. I didn't get fined for using my phone while riding a bicycle, so I'm pretty happy. Although I did get yelled at, so, you know, whatever. Thank you. What do you all want to talk about? You want to talk about Supernatural? You want to talk about Donald Trump? What are you excited to talk about? What's that? Bike riding. Okay, there is a controversial topic for you. You people are really into your bicycles. I got this, it's like a rideshare bike. It's called Donkey something. Do you know what this is? Donkey what? Donkey bike? Yeah. Anyway, I was trying to download the app and it wasn't working, and there was a bike right there, and I was like, I'm just gonna take this bike. So I was breaking the law by using that thing, but I think I was also on a stolen bicycle, so I might actually get arrested at some point. Does anyone want to ask me a question? Shame on you. Hi.
It's great meeting you.
Great meeting you too.
For like 15 years. So.
Well, very nice to meet you. Do you feel bad about the people that you knocked down to get friend of mine?
Not really.
Good.
I want to ask something about the boys.
Okay.
Jared told us that you already filmed some things.
Yes.
So how was the experience? Any fun anecdotes that you can share?
Well, I worked with both Jared and Jensen in The Boys, so it was very traumatizing. I'm excited to see how it comes out. Jared and I are only in The Boys for like half of an episode. It's a pretty short appearance, and I can't tell you too many things about what we actually did in The Boys, because Eric Kripke, he has assassins that work for him, and he will kill us.
Maybe can your mom watch it?
Can my mom watch it? So what you're asking is, did we do anything like what Rob Benedict did on The Boys? How many of you have seen The Boys? How many of you have been scarred by watching Rob Benedict on The Boys? Yeah. I was actually quite nervous when I opened the script. I was like, please don't make me do anything like what Rob did. For those of you who haven't seen it, Rob played God on Supernatural. He's Chuck. And then Eric Kripke, who was the creator of Supernatural, also the creator of The Boys, he hired Rob as an actor on The Boys to eat his own ass. So, yeah. Thank you. Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm gonna keep it light, and I'm gonna ask you, if you were to host a theme party, which theme would it be and why?
I mean, I have hosted theme parties in the past, but I think I would probably host a Supernatural theme party because I already have the costume and I'm lazy. Yeah.
Great, thank you. That was
Thank
my
you.
question.
Okay, good. Hi there.
Hi. You get a lot of fan art and fan mail and stuff. I was wondering, what's your favorite piece of fan art you ever received?
Is that fan art right there? What is
No, not really. It's more of a line formation. for you.
Is it anthrax?
It's mindfulness.
Mindfulness?
Yeah. It's a little fox because I think you're smart.
It's a little fox? Thank you. And I can...
And there's a message inside. There's
a message inside? Thank you very much. And this is so convenient because I can just easily just carry it around with me.
That's the idea.
I'm going to leave it right here.
Yeah. Don't
Thank you.
forget to read the message later.
Okay. What was your question?
What's your favorite piece of fan art? I think you're right.
Oh, my favorite piece of fan art. That's hard to say. My daughter has not watched Supernatural. She's 12, but she has what she calls a dad shrine, and it's all of these little like crocheted Castiels and little drawings of Castiel and various other little pictures, and it's very sweet, and she has it all set up very beautifully in her bedroom. So that's sort of my favorite collection of fan art. There was a fan, so we do these conventions, Jared, Jensen, myself, and a bunch of the other cast members from Supernatural do these conventions in the United States. We do like maybe 12 a year or something like that. And at some point, like 7 years ago, someone made a very beautiful little drawing of me, Castiel and Dean kissing.
That's cute.
And we travel around the country in the US, and at every convention in the green room, they set up like some snacks and some drinks and some ibuprofen and some Red Bulls to try to keep us from falling asleep. And on the table, they put the little photo of Cass and Dean kissing too every time. So that one is the piece of fan art that has haunted me the most.
Thank you for the story.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. I was wondering, of course, it's the moment we've all been waiting for to see you and Jared alongside Jensen in The Boys. And I was wondering what it has been like for you to reconnect and get into different characters with each other.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Jared and I were driving in from our hotel the morning that we went to do our first bit of filming, and on the call sheet, what it said we were doing that day was, this was Friday, and then we were going to have the weekend after this, and then we were going to start filming some more of our work. But on the call sheet, they said that we were just doing stunts that day. And I called the director and I said, hey, are we definitely just doing the stunts? We're not doing any of the dialogue today? And he said, yeah, just the stunts. It's just the stunts. So Jared and I were talking about what we wanted to do with our characters while we were driving into set. And we were discussing it because our characters in the show have something to do with each other. And we were thinking, like, we were talking about it, and we were like, you know what we should do? We should get together this weekend and really work on it and decide if we want to do any, like, weird dialects or any accents or anything like that. Like, really figure out what we want to do with these characters, because we have some time to work on it, because today we're just doing the stunts. And then we got to set, and the director was like, okay, so a little bit of a change in plan. We're going to do all the dialogue today. And Jared and I were totally unprepared because we hadn't learned our lines yet, and we hadn't really worked on the characters yet. And so what you see on The Boys is us just being like, I don't know, I guess we'll just try it. But it was a lot of fun to be thrown into the deep end like that and just have to figure it out. But there's some funny stuff in there. And there's a lot of bodily fluids as well, I can tell you that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really excited.
Hi.
I don't have a question. Thank you for bringing so much positivity online and the political fight.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I don't think that I'm just positive online though. I'm also quite negative. Like, I really don't like Donald Trump. And I want to do everything I can to stop him. I don't know how we wound up where we are in our country. It's really quite horrifying that we would elect someone like that once. But then after seeing how terrible he was, I cannot believe that we did it a second time. And I'm sorry to all of Europe for what our president is doing to Europe and the rest of the world. So on behalf of the United States of America, I humbly apologize to you. Yes. Thank you. I think a lot of Americans are leaving and coming to Europe. So yes, thank you for the invitation, though. Hi.
Hi. This is very random, but can we do a round of rock, paper, scissors?
Absolutely.
Great.
Okay.
Let's see.
So, wait, it's 1, 2, 3, and then you shoot. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, shoot. She did scissors too, by the way. 1, 2, 3, shoot. She did paper too. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Ha ha! Terrible. It was just a reflex. I'm sorry. I always do that when I win. High five.
I have a bit of a serious question of this.
Oh shit. Okay.
For Supernatural, I found out that I have an androgynous soul, but I still have masculine and feminine energy physically. How do you think that works with Castiel when he was in Jimmy Novak's vessel, and when we had the flashback when he was in the female vessel?
Misha is in the bar.
So do you think that an angel has like a gender neutral soul? Or
You know, I never thought of Cass as gender neutral, honestly. I think that there are a lot of asexual people who identified with Castiel, but I actually, in sort of being in his head, I think he was more masculine than feminine in my sort of limited consciousness. However, Castiel did say he was utterly indifferent to sexual orientation, and I think that is very, very, very true in that he had no judgment. That's what that meant, right? He had no judgment of sexual orientation, which we humans in the Western world often imbue our thinking with.
But did he then feel still masculine if he was in the female vessel?
God damn it, why are you asking such hard questions? I think that Cass had probably much more of a fluid energy than a lot of us do. I think that's probably true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Woo!
Hi.
Hi. I need you to channel your inner Castiel for this question.
Oh shit, okay.
If you would be a Disney princess, which one would you be and why?
As Castiel?
Yes.
Mulan.
Who are the Disney princesses?
Pretty ladies?
Huh?
Mulan.
I have a daughter, but I don't listen to her.
You have Mulan.
Ah! Yes, thank you.
Snow White, Rapunzel, Jasmine,
I will be Mulan.
Merida.
I would say Snow White.
Alright. Because you're good with animals, right?
Because Castiel really liked pumpkins. So that's why. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi. Speaking of Castiel, holy shit. Wow.
I'm Agent POC. I have to ask you, would you shake my hand in character, Castiel?
Yes. And Castiel would shake with his left hand because he doesn't know what to do. Yes. Thank you. That was a wonderful question.
That's my wonderful.
and she blinds 3 people with the tips of her wings. Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I like your wardrobe.
Thank you.
Thanks for wearing it.
My question is a bit random, but if you have the opportunity to take an existing movie and do a remake, but with your friends as the main characters, what movie would it be?
God, this is not a question that I've spent a lot of time thinking about. What did you say? Scooby-Doo? Yeah, that's what we would do. We would do Scooby-Doo. So, we did this episode of Supernatural that was, our characters got put into an episode of Scooby-Doo that was called, this episode, did you see it? It was called Scooby-Natural. And it was exactly what you're talking about. It was like, me and my friends got to be characters in this show that we had watched when we were kids. And we could not believe that Warner Brothers let us do that. Because usually they're very protective of their existing intellectual property, they call it. Like, they don't want, you know, Scooby-Doo to be too scary or too dangerous or too offensive or whatever. And we did all of those things to an episode of Scooby-Doo. But it was so cool for us because they made a big deal out of that episode, and they had a premiere for that episode of our show, and they screened it for free for anybody who wanted to come, who got there early enough. And they screened it in the Kodak Theater, which is in Hollywood, which is where the Oscars take place. So we were sitting on the Oscars stage with cartoon versions of ourselves on the screen behind us, and me and Jared and Jensen were like, it's never gonna, this is the only time we're ever gonna be on the Oscar stage, so let's soak it up. But it was pretty awesome. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Hi there.
Hey sir, I'm asking this on behalf of my friend, and I'm sorry if this sounds childish.
I have a feeling this is really your question, but you're embarrassed by it, and so you're like, yeah, this is my friend that wanted to know, not me, I didn't want to know, but my friend did.
No, I mean, like, she's been a friend of yours, I mean, a fan of yours for many years.
Sure, she sounds like a very real person.
No, I wanted to ask if you could pick up my phone and say hi to her, maybe, is that possible?
Sure.
She's named Nikki, by the way.
Nikki?
Yeah.
Am I on the phone with her?
No, she's not on the phone, but this is a video.
Nikki's not on the phone. Hi, Nikki, if you exist. Let me ask you something. Is your name Nikki?
No, my name is Luke. So.
Luke?
Yes.
Is it really?
It is. Trust me.
Okay, Nikki. Luke, if that's really his name, says that you're a fan of Supernatural or something like that. My advice to you is try to get help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
What's your advice on making it through hard times such as depression?
My advice on getting through hard times. Well, I will say this. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a therapist or even a good person. So I don't know that I'm the best person to dispense advice on this point, but I have gone through chapters of depression myself, and I would say there are certain things that have been very helpful for me. One is getting outside and dragging myself out of bed and spending some time outdoors, and another is calling people on the phone and talking to them, and maybe talking to a therapist can be helpful too. And there's a Buddhist expression which I take some comfort in, which is, "This too shall pass," which means whatever the hard thing that you're going through right now, it won't last forever. And knowing that has been very helpful to me at times in my life.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking a hard question. Hi.
So this month is Pride Month, and I wonder what Cass will be doing to celebrate Pride.
I think if Cass were here celebrating Pride Month at this time, I think that he would be intervening in the political realm and trying to do something to stop governments from oppressing people. There is a LGBTQIA+ hotline for suicide prevention in the United States, and just this past week they shut it down, which is just evil. It's just evil. Like, I think that we have to keep being vocal, and we have to keep fighting, and I think that this is actually, so interesting how these things work in our world these days. Back in the US, in my country, pride is something that has been co-opted by big companies. Like, Target does a big, rainbow, and a lot of companies, the airport that I flew here from had a big, pride banner on the front of the airport when you pull up. So a lot of corporations and companies are realizing oh, it's good for business if we get, say that we're for Pride Month. And a lot of that is quieting down. And a lot of pride parades in the United States are losing their corporate sponsorship right now because there are companies that don't want to upset the president. And I think that that's actually a good opportunity for pride to become a little bit more grassroots and a little bit more empowering and a little bit more about the people that it represents, that movement represents, and a little bit less about the corporate underpinnings that I think have sort of watered it down over the years. So I think, as the pendulum swings back and forth and there's more liberties and then less liberties, I think it's time for us to push that pendulum back toward more freedom and more acceptance and also more activism. Thanks.
Hi Misha. My question is, if you weren't an actor, what would you want to be, or what would you be?
If I wasn't an actor, I think I'd like to be, I don't know, it would be really cool if I could be some sort of a superhero who has the power to teleport and read minds and fly. So that's probably what I would choose for a job. These days, I really would love to be, I'm a little bit obsessed with what's happening in politics, and I would love to be president if I wasn't an actor. I think it'd be much more fun to be. Anyway, thanks. Hi.
Hi, nice to see you again. I was wondering, with the new James Bond discussion.
Yes.
Would you take it if they offered?
Would I take the James Bond role if they offered it to me? Oh, certainly not. I hate money.
I think you'd be great.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm not under any illusion that I'm under consideration for the role of James Bond, but I love that you think that I would be good. And I will write a letter to James Bond Corp and let them know that you think it's a good idea for them to hire me.
And you're a shoo-in.
Thank you very much. Thanks for that endorsement. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, it is loud, isn't it?
Sorry, that scared me. Hi, sir.
Hi.
So acting, I
Yes.
have a question. So what is it that inspired you to do this as a job? Was it like a movie you saw with your family as a kid or a TV show you were absolutely obsessed with? What is it that led you to this?
I was interning at the White House, and I was working at National Public Radio in Washington, D.C., and I didn't like what I saw. I had been thinking that I was going to go to law school and I was going to go into politics, and I had this like plan for myself. And then I got to Washington, D.C., and I saw how the whole system worked, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to do this. What am I going to do with myself? And then I'm not going to say who it is, but I watched a certain actor who I think is a terrible actor in a movie that was very successful. And I was like, well shit, if he can do it, I can do it. And so I decided I was going to try to become an actor because I didn't want to do anything else at that point. And I thought it might be a more fun way to get to be involved in conversations than working my way up from White House intern. So that's why.
And you did it also very well. Thank you.
Thank you for your kindness. Hi.
Hi. For my questions, I believe you are very. You should know that there are lots of fan fictions written about Dean and Castiel. So I wonder if you read any and what was it about? Because I believe you checked it out.
So there's a lot of, I am aware that there's a lot of fan fiction about Dean and Cass, and even about Misha and Jensen. And when I first got on Supernatural, there was this website, what was it called?
AOTV?
No, it was before that.
Archive of our own. Archive of our own.
It's like a blog, it was a blog website.
Archive.
LiveJournal, thank you. So when I first got on Supernatural, after each episode, people would go onto this website called LiveJournal, and they would talk about what happened in the episode and whether they liked it or not. And I was just a guest star on Supernatural, so I was like, if the fans like me, maybe they'll keep me on the show. So I would go after an episode and I would read on LiveJournal like what they said about the episode. And I went on, it was like maybe my third episode on Supernatural, and it aired, and I went on LiveJournal and I read, and people were like, oh, I really like this Castiel character, or what the hell are they doing with this stupid angel shit? This is ruining the show. And then I came to this, like, I opened a blog post that was quite long, and it was like, Dean and Cass are in the Impala, and then Dean leans over and starts kissing Cass and runs his hand up his thigh. And I was like, I don't think I got this script. I don't remember filming this. And I'd never heard of fan fiction or slash fiction or any of this stuff before, and I was like, what the hell is this? What have I gotten myself into? And that was my first introduction. But I'll be honest, I have not spent, I feel like me reading slash fiction would be like finding my parents' pornography. Like it just feels wrong, and so it's something that I don't do. But all the time I talk to fans who are like, we know you have what's it called? AOC?
AO3.
AO what?
AO3.
AO3. Right, AOC is something else. We know you have an AO3 account, and I don't, and I'm sorry, but I appreciate that everybody thinks that I'm lying, so that's fine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Is that it? Nobody else has any more questions? Or you're asking me to leave? I see how this is going. Everybody's like, please, for the love of God, get the fuck off the stage. Thank you all. Have an amazing weekend. I look forward to seeing you all. Come by and take a photo. Come by and throw a rotten tomato at me. Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this exclusive Q&A session. But the excitement doesn't end here. This is your chance to capture the moment. Get your photo taken.